The Bernoulli probability distribution is a probability distribution for a single experiment, which we call a Bernoulli trial. And a Bernoulli trial is one of the simplest experiments you can conduct. It's an experiment where you can have only one of two possible outcomes. We commonly phrase the outcome as yes and no, or heads and tails if we flip a coin, even and odd if you're rolling a dice. In other words, it produces two types of conclusions, one of success and failure. And the success, of course, is defined as the outcome that you are looking for. We usually denote little p as the probability of getting a success, and 1 minus p, or otherwise we write little q, as the probability of failure. And remember that p plus q, of success plus failure, must equal to 1 and is always positive. And success is usually shown as x is equal to 1 for p, and x is equal to 0 for q, which is failure. So that the probability of our random variable is going to be equal to p to the x times q to the 1 minus x. And then it is evident that the probability for x is equal to 0 is going to be p to the 0 q to the 1 minus 0, which is actually q, the failure. And the probability of x being equal to 1 is going to be p to the 1 and q to the 1 minus 1, which ends up being p. And if we graph the Bernoulli distribution, it'll always have two columns, as you can see over here. One is for the failure and one is success. Or we could have one with a dislike and a like, or we could have a win or a lose. An important part of every Bernoulli trial is that each action must be independent. That means that the probabilities must remain the same throughout the trials. Each event must be completely separate and have nothing to do with the previous event. So, for instance, if you scratch a lottery, which is an independent event, your odds of winning one ticket are the same as winning any other ticket. But on the other hand, if you draw a lot of numbers, they are dependent events, because a lot of numbers come out of a ball and the numbers are not replaced. So the probability of successive numbers being picked depends on how many balls are left. Now, the Bernoulli process leads to several probability distributions, and one of them is going to be the binomial distribution, which I will explain in my next video. Well, if you found this video useful and helpful, then please take a moment to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next video.